Right, what we have here is a linear actuator. It's worked in the solenoid effect. It's called a mini push-pull solenoid. How it works is you apply a current to it and it pops in and out like so, as you can see, okay? So I got this on Amazon. It's about $7.59 sterling, free post with Amazon Prime. And the spec sheet for it says it runs off 6 volts DC and it's got a holding force of 200 newtons now. As you can see, it's quite small, and I'm actually running it through this power supply here because if you run it through a battery, it's drawing quite a lot of current. Checked with the multimeter and it's got about 0.3 amps being drawn, so that's going to drain your battery pretty quickly, even if it's not on for long. I mean, these things are only 0.5 milliamp hours or 0.5 amp hours. So just to show you, like, what does it do? I mean, you could kind of try and push this. Let me just show you this small device. Close it here. That's just a small little thing that weighs very little. This is a battery. Is it going to move that? No, it doesn't even, just moves itself. So, you know, there's really not much power in this thing. It says it's rated for 200 newtons, which would suggest there's a holding force of 20 kgs. There's no way this thing is holding 20 kgs. Just no way. So it's kind of instructive as to maybe if something is cheap, it is no good. I mean, what's the battery weighing maybe 50 grams, something like that. Max maybe 70 grams, the weight of an egg, if you like, 50 or 60 grams. So this is more of just interest than anything else. And just a note about the power supply. That's a variable voltage power supply that's from a model railway set. So it's quite safe to use because it's designed for use with kids. It can give out 1 amp, which is grand, and you can vary the voltage from 0 to about 16, which is very handy for kind of electronic hobby stuff. You might know not everyone has one of these, and we'll discuss later about different types of power supplies. What else to say about this thing? Really, if you're going to be using an actuator, in other words, to push or pull something or move something, this really isn't suitable unless it's for something very small. You could use this as a kind of a latching device. Maybe you might have a flap or a door held in place, and then when this moves away, it just allows the door to open, if you know what I mean. So this could be over a kind of door latch, comes away, allows the door latch to come away, but it's not really giving much force. If you want to apply a reasonable amount of force, you're going to have to use a linear actuator that has a motor driven on a screw thread or something like that. And I'm not sure what the cost of those. It could be 20, 30 euros, and it depends on your specs. So when if you're buying this type of stuff, you just need to be very clear about what you want. And as I say, the spec sheet here gives no information whatsoever. It only says 6 volts DC. It doesn't say what the minimum voltage is. It doesn't say what the maximum voltage is. It'll run on lower, maybe down to 5 volts. And I wasn't going exceeding 7 volts because I read somewhere that maybe the maximum they would take was 7 volts. So that's it. Just your solenoid based linear actuator. Doesn't really do much, but it's just of interest maybe. Might be of some use, as I say, to maybe allow a door to open or close, but other than that, I can't see much use for it. Over now. Thank you.